Now, Zambia is an African country with a nutrition crisis. Every other child is stunted in their growth because they simply do not have an adequate diet. Our reporter Judith Hill and our cameraman Tommy Hassan travelled there with the charity Concern and spent a week in one of the country's poorest regions. It comes as the charity launches its Hunger Stops Here campaign, which will see the UK government match every donation made here until December. This is the first of Judith Hill's two special reports.
It was a week of dusty roads and beautiful welcomes as we journeyed around some of Zambia's poorest communities. But along these same roads, mothers walk for miles to find out if their baby's health hangs in the balance. Behind the colour and the smiles lie some harsh realities that every other child here suffers from growth stunting. Nutrition experts describe it as a crisis. So every Wednesday, mothers come here with their babies to get them weighed and check for the impact of stunting. Now, some of them have walked up to 10 kilometres to be here, and as you can see, they're quite dressed up. This is considered a bit of a social occasion. But yet, the spectre of malnutrition looms large in these mums' minds.
My child will get swollen. Her body will become swollen if my child is sick of malnutrition. So that's the worry we have, that our children will be sick of malnutrition.
When Concern set up this clinic, staff say there were dozens of cases of chronic malnutrition a month, but that's dropped to just 4. They believe their nutrition projects are behind that.
With the coming in of Concern worldwide, the trend has changed. So the cases have reduced and the health of the infants has improved.
The clinic was only one of our stops on a journey around the province of Mumbwa. We were there to see the work of Concern's RAIN project. Its remit to encourage new farming practices in order that people's diets improve. You seem very, very proud of your garden. Before, Shadrach and Minus's 10 children would have mainly eaten maize. Now their home garden provides them with multiple varieties of vegetables.
Through the RAIN project, I've been able to establish a garden, and this has helped because I have educated my family through the produce from my garden.
Water really is everything here. It makes gardens like this possible, and from their produce, this family now makes an equivalent of £10 a day. Well, on down the road from Mchena, here we are at another little community. Now, this time they're not only just growing their vegetables, they're also drying them out. And the exciting development here is that they're not only being exported to a local market, soon they'll be exported to countries around the world. It couldn't look further from being a World Trade Centre. Yet ironically, this community's new food dryer is the start of an export opportunity here.
This has helped me and brought income to my family. When I first planted groundnuts, I was able to produce about 10 bags. So I was able to sell 8 bags, and that left 2 for food, so that I could grow for the next coming season.
Initiatives like this offer glimmers of hope that children could one day flourish free from the stunting of their growth and their potential.
Zambia is one of the countries which is a star, and indeed this district and the work we've been doing in this district is a role model for what can be scaled up and rolled out across the country.
Experts say significant change could be a decade away, but on the ground at least there are signs of life. Judith Hill, UTV Live Tonight, Zambia.
Well, Judith is with me in the studio, and Rose Caldwell, the UK Director of Concern as well. Judith, what struck you about the plight of the people out there?
Well, hopefully, Paul, you picked up from the report just the incredible 6 days we had over there. And for me, it was the two sides of life. It was the hardship that people are facing, but also their resilience. You saw the beautiful welcomes we got in each of these rural, remote communities we were in. But there's no getting away. Life is a daily struggle for people, for food and for water. But yet, what struck me really was the engagement of people in these communities with the concern projects. You saw Manus featured in our report there, so proud to show off her home garden because she knows that now she's able to educate 2 of her 6 children, and that's going to improve the family's future.
Does outside help make a difference?
For me, it really was aid at its creative best. You saw there the home gardens and the level of ownership people are taking of these projects. Tomorrow night, we'll see a series of drama workshops, and it is creative aid because they're tackling gender inequalities and the fact that that's a real obstacle to development.
Rose, the problems of the world are huge. You're never going to solve them all, are you?
We're not going to solve them all, but we can make huge differences for a lot of people, and particularly when it comes to addressing hunger. You know, hunger is one of the biggest problems in the world, but it's also one of the most solvable. And this project in particular that we looked at in Zambia was being used as a role model. And even today in Zambia, we were working with the government there, and the Vice President opened a conference addressing nutrition. And if we can tackle the issue of nutrition, people can then meet the full potential.
Are you concerned in any way that the help that you're able to give to these countries in the developing world is going to get to the people who need it most and isn't going to be siphoned off by people along the way?
Well, I think that's one of the advantages of working through an NGO like Concern Worldwide. We work directly in implementing, working very closely with district governments and with local agencies to develop the programmes and make sure that they are delivered on the ground and are accountable for the monies that are spent there.
And you're happy with the checks and balances?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, I mean, and part of the visit out there, you can see the work on the ground, and you can see the impact that it's having. And, you know, we ourselves are subject to a huge amount of scrutiny about how our money's spent. So we're very careful about how we spend the money that's entrusted to us.
Rose Caldwell, Judith Hill, thank you both. And we'll have Judith's second report on UTV Live Tonight tomorrow. In the meantime, you can check out Judith's blog on our website, u.tv.